one thing that I have learned in therapy is to not sweep things under the rug. So this is when you see issues, and instead of bringing them to the table and talking about them, you keep quiet. You ignore the issues. First issue comes, you let it go. Second, let it go. Third, you let it go. You stay silent. Either because you are the only person that cares about things being done right. You want to show integrity when someone is watching or when someone is not watching. So I want to give an example. Maybe you saw someone in your family doing something inappropriate to a kid, or someone touched you inappropriate, or I don't know, you saw someone being raped or you got raped. That these are the worst case scenarios, and you just keep quiet, because if you talk about it, you're going to create drama. If you talk about it, you're going to break the peace in the family. If you talk about it, it's going to become an issue, or everyone around you does not care about doing things the right way. They don't care about integrity. They don't care about doing things the right way, because they just don't care even of the consequences. So they just, when things happen, they pretend it did not happen, they let it go. But that is a big issue, and this is going to bring me to another thing that I've learned in therapy that I want to talk about, and that is trauma never heals itself. So trauma can be caused by a lot of different things, and one of the things that can cause that is when you keep seeing issues happening, but you don't do anything about the issues. You just keep quiet. Okay, let's say, for example, if it starts with me, I have kids, and then my kids start drinking and I don't do anything about it. They get raped, I don't do anything about it. They're just big issues that we do not tackle and bring to the table to fix. We just keep quiet. Then my kids will think that is a normal way of living. That is a normal way of how a family should be, when that is a dysfunctional family, when that is not normal. But they're just gonna think it's normal because mama and papa never did anything about it. They never tried their best to have a good family, to have a good life, to teach their kids good moral or appropriate moral standards. So when they have kids, their kids are going to they're going to have the same issues, and their kids are going to have the same issues. So trauma never heals itself. One person have to realize where the problem is. You say, oh, this is the issue. Okay, now let's work on fixing this problem, because you don't want that problem in your life, because it's going to affect you mentally, physically. So basically anything you do, okay, if it's something that's not good, if there's issues, please talk about them, find ways to fix them, because if you don't, you just keep quiet, you just don't care. Your kids are going to have the same issues, and your grandkids and their kids and kids are going to have the same issues. So just to wrap it up quickly, I don't want to make you bored. First thing is, trauma never heals itself, right? And another thing is, do not sweep things under the rug. If you see issues, talk about them, find ways to fix them, because they cause big issues that people don't even realize until they come to realize them. You know what I mean? Another thing that I have learned is how to view people who judge us, or people who judge me. I've learned that I do not want to be the victim of people who judge me for no reason. People who judge you cannot show up for themselves, okay? And that is why they judge. People judge for different reasons. They think they are better. They can't show up for themselves. So if you are showing up for yourself, they want to judge you. So you don't want to be, or I've learned not to be, a victim of people who judge me. I just have to understand what's going on and realize that they cannot show up for themselves. So I cannot expect them to show up for me when I'm doing something that is right, something that is not wrong, but they want to judge me and laugh at me. So I have learned how to view people who judge me. Because if you really think someone is doing something wrong, you can talk to them. If you're coming from a place of love, you can talk to them nicely, respectfully. They will see your point, they will get it and try to change. But if you're just judging, And I'm not trying to say that you have to be dramatic and problematic. Excuse me, I'm not saying that. When people are judging you for no reason, just because they can't show up for themselves and they judge you for showing up for yourself, you can tell. Okay, you can look at the situations and see, okay, this person is hating me and judging me. Why? Okay, then you get it. I'm not going to be a victim of anyone that judges me. Okay, that's one thing I've learned. I just need to read the situation and see what's going on. If they're not coming from a place of love and wanting to help me, okay, then I'm just gonna be like, okay, you cannot show up for yourself, so you cannot show up for myself. So I'm not going to even think about it too much and sleep all night thinking about it too much. Because if you can't show up for yourself, you cannot show up for me. Another thing that I have learned in therapy is letting go of control, okay? Letting it free, letting it go. So this is the feeling of feeling like you can control everything. Nothing can go well if you did not help. Nothing can be fixed or happen or go well if you did not put in your input to help. I used to feel like this days back before I got married, okay? I mean, I did everything in the house. I did the cleaning, I did the cooking. So when my siblings tried to help, I was like, no, you cannot do it right. I'm the one who's gonna do it right. And this is not the control of controlling like a dictator. No. This is a feeling of feeling like nothing will go right if I don't help. So you are that person who's always worried about other people, trying to help them to the point where it's not healthy, that you can't sit and relax. You're always like, okay, that's not right. Okay, I need to fix it. You know? So then this did happen when I got married, you know? I wanted to do everything, just everything in the house, you know? But I needed to realize that, okay, I am married, I have a husband who have to take over because I did everything. I was the lead, okay? I'm the firstborn. I was the lead in my family. I decided which food we're gonna cook. I decided what things are gonna be put in the house. It was everything me. So when I got in my marriage, okay, we got there and I just needed to relax and realize I have my husband here, okay? He's here, he's the lead. I just need to relax and do my part. And I loved that experience because it helped me learn how to relax, sit down. I don't have to always be in control, controlling things, making sure everything goes right. I have a man here and he got me, you know what I mean? So letting go of control. I have talked to people who feel like if they're not with their siblings, their siblings are not going to be safe. And I used to feel like this, okay? When my siblings went to school, I used to feel like, oh my goodness, I need to know what's going on at school, because what if something is going on that I don't know about that can hurt them? So I felt like I need to know what's going on in their life. I need to know how things are going because I want to make sure they're safe and nothing goes wrong. I'm happy to be sharing this my own experiences because I know that many people don't just find out about things until they find or hear other people talking about them or people who have experienced them, and then they learn from there and seek help, okay? But at the same time, I know people who are going to come here and judge, okay? They're going to come here and be like, oh, so she's like this, da, da, da. I just want to let you know, I'm putting this here for a reason. I want to teach other people, and I don't feel bad about it, okay? And what I've chose to share here, I'm comfortable sharing with, and I am not ashamed of it. So I know some people are gonna be out here trying to shame me because it has happened a lot. Oh, you mentioned this, oh my goodness. I refuse to be a victim of people who judge me, like I said before. Anyways, this brings me to my next point, which is relationships. Another thing that I've learned is relationships put a spotlight on things that you have not dealt with. They kind of remind you like, okay, you have this issue and you need to fix it. You have this issue and you need to fix it. okay? Because before we all marry someone, or before we get married to someone, we tell ourselves, I'm gonna do this, I want things to go like this, okay? But as human beings, we're not perfect, okay? And depending on where we're from, what kind of family we were raised in, we always have things going on with us, okay? And it's all of us. If you think you're okay and you don't have issues, you're wrong, okay? We always have those experiences that we've experienced that when you bring to a marriage, you're like, oh my goodness, this is not right, you know? And that is why I said relationships put a spotlight on issues that you have not dealt with, because you always say, I'm going to be a wife who listens, okay? I'm going to be a submissive wife, okay? But you're from a family where nobody was submissive. The wife, your mother was not submissive. You're from a family where your mother didn't listen, and you think you're gonna be different because you want to be different, obviously, okay? So practicing that could be hard for you and challenging for you, because it's not just what you grew up seeing and watching. And a lot of families have these issues. I mean, there's a lot of families where the father is just doing his own thing, the mother is doing his own thing, okay? No one is really playing the proper father card. No one is playing the proper mother card, okay? All the roles in marriage are not being played well, and then you get married, or you marry when you haven't worked on those issues. You say, I'm gonna be different, I want something different. Good. If you want something different, that's good. But when you get there, you are struggling, and this is where you need help, you know? And to be honest, yes, your partner can help you, but it's going to be draining for your new marriage, your new relationship. It could be just boyfriend and girlfriend, fiance. So this is where you say, okay, I have an issue, let me go to therapy and just seek out for help and find ways to change, and it works, okay? Another thing that I've learned in therapy is that self-awareness is important. Self-awareness is important. So you need to go out here, I don't know, read books about different things, okay? Discover yourself, what you like, why you do certain things, why you act a certain way. You really need to do like a self-discovery and ask yourself, yesterday when I got mad, I yelled. Why did I yell? Okay? Yesterday when someone was just talking to me nicely, I yelled at them. I was mean and rude to them. Why did, like, learn things, okay? Go here on YouTube. There's a lot of information about different things. How, like, learn about yourself. Learn about yourself, okay? And this is why therapy is important, because it helps you understand what is going on, why you're acting a certain way, why things are happening the way they're happening, why your emotions are like that. We have issues, okay? We do. And if you're seeking, you're like, oh, it's just you, shame on you, shame on you. No, we all do. We all have different issues, okay? So learn about yourself, discover what you like, what you don't like, and why, how to do things. Self-awareness is key, okay? Because if you understand why people act a certain way, for example, if someone is hating on you and, and judging you, you're gonna know and be like, okay, because of this, they say this. You're going to understand what's going on, you know? So do a self-discovery project on you, girl. On you. Another thing that I've learned is not to downplay myself. I will not downplay myself, because I used to do that. I used to have limiting beliefs, my dear. This is when people think they cannot do anything because they are not good enough. They're afraid, so they downplay themselves. I've learned not to downplay myself, okay? I will take up space and be seen, okay? I learned not to downplay myself, to take up space and be seen. And what I mean with this is, if there's something that I enjoy, for example, I'm doing these videos, I enjoy doing these videos, okay? They help me. They have helped a lot of people. They have reached out to me, and even if I'm not making money here yet, which is the goal, but also because I love people and care about people and want to, to help others. So I'm going to show up and raise my hand and be the one that have the answer. It's okay. Yes, I don't have all the answers, but the answers that I have, I'm going to raise up my hand, show up, take space, okay? I'm not going to be afraid of being seen and try to help, okay? So if you have something that you enjoy doing, maybe it's writing, maybe it's making creative, creative bracelets or whatever it is. It could be you like poetry and you want to write poetry, but you are afraid of doing that. You want to open a business. You are afraid of taking up space and being seen. You are afraid of your own potential. Another thing I've learned is to not be afraid of my own potential, babes. I will not be, okay? And let me tell you guys, we are always afraid of failing and afraid that people are going to judge us. So we have this limiting belief. And that's why most people judge. They don't want to show up and be the one and raise their hand and be the one that has the answer, okay? Even if they don't know it all, they are afraid to take up space and being seen. But then when they see other people do it, they are mad, like, how dare you? They're trying to talk to you and telling you, you are doing too much, stop it. I'm not killing nobody, I'm not sinning. So please go out there, whether it's your hobby, something that you enjoy doing, and you just want to express yourself and have fun and show people that you're enjoying doing something. It could be photography or just drawing and just want to shine with it. Just show it to people, but you're afraid because you have limiting beliefs. You're afraid of being seen and taking up space. You don't want to, you're afraid, oh, that's going to be too much attention on you. Girl, as long as you're not seeking to be God and wanting people to obey you and follow you like God, you're okay. Don't have self-limiting beliefs, okay? Take up space, be seen. As long as it's not a sin, it's fine, it's okay. Like, you want to do it. You want to do it, but you're afraid people are going to see me as if I'm all that. Girl, brother. Next one is learning to say no without any regret. Because many times people will just want to take from you, okay? Or maybe people will just want to take advantage of you, I've experienced this. Like, some guys will just want to be close to me, okay? Yeah, just guys. And they want to touch me. I'm like, no, do not. And I do not feel bad for telling you no, okay? Like, I remember back in the days, this guy just touched my hair. And I was just standing there asking myself, why did this guy feel comfortable coming to me and touching my hair? But I was like, no. So, it could be family members asking for money. There's nothing wrong with helping. But these people, not all of them, some people would just like to ask and ask and ask and forget that the cup that you're filling their cups from can also go empty, okay? So you need to learn to say no and not feel bad for saying no, because it was the right thing to do. Next one is letting negative thoughts sit. And what I mean by this is that many times you could just be sitting and then you get negative thoughts. Maybe you're thinking, oh my goodness, my life is really terrible. There's things going on in my life that I can't control. I feel very bad. And you're just thinking about it, right? You can let them sit. But if you start freaking out and you're like, oh my goodness, my life is, what can I do? Oh my goodness, everybody else is. So what I'm trying to say is, when you think about negative thoughts, you just let them sit. Maybe after like a week or a day, they go away. But if you overreact and act on the negative thoughts, they eat you up. They show on your face that you are really going through a tough time, and they affect you mentally. So if you're just there and you think about it, you just let it go, or just let it sit there. It's there, you just ignore it and do other things. depending on the circumstance, of course, because there are things like this that you can't, and then after that they go, and as time goes by you work through a solution or ways to help you without really freaking out and exaggerating, which makes it worse. Not to let people use my weakness to take advantage of me. That is one thing that I've learned, because I have had people in my life who knew something about me that was going on with me. They knew I was at my weakest point and they wanted something from me, okay? And this can happen in different ways. It could be maybe they want information from you, or just something, or just they want your cooperation or your attention. So these people came to me, and before they could ask me of what they want from me, they started out by pointing out my weakness. So they were like, we know you're going through this, and we know it's troubling, And then after saying that, they asked me what they wanted from me, and I did cooperate, because after I thought of what was bothering me, I became weak. So I have learned not to let people use my weakness to take advantage of me and get what they want from me, whether it's information, whether it's whatever it is. I'm not letting you do that. And these are big mind techniques that you need to learn, because people want to come to you and really mess with you. You know what I mean? And they use weakest points in your life or experiences that you've experienced that they know trigger you. The last one, but when I finish telling you this last one, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story of how I did what? Of how I went into therapy. This next one that I've learned is to block outside noises and focus on me. Blocking outside noises and focusing on me. Because as sad as it is, you always have people coming into your life trying to make decisions for you. An example that I can use of this is when me and my husband got married, okay? People do forget that when people get married, they have different plans, okay? 2 years after that, people were like, oh my goodness, you guys haven't had a kid yet. But they don't know that we did not plan to have a kid after 2 years. Like, couples plan their lives differently. And I'm just gonna use my example so you can understand, and I don't know. Anyways, so when people say that you guys haven't had a kid yet, they always refer to me as the problem. You know what I mean? And me and my husband were just there sipping drinks, and we're like, people are really crazy. So one way that I've managed to block out outside noises, when I went to therapy, obviously, I learned how to block out outside noises, because people do talk, and it's just not going to be one person. It's going to be a lot of people, and they can take you out of your they can make you change your plans. You know what I mean? And me and my husband, we just decided we're going to stick to our plans. We don't care, okay? But it can be hard to stick to your plans, obviously, and block out outside noises. So I did need a little help with that, because I was like, oh my goodness, everywhere I go, it's me. Shut up. This is how I came to get introduced to therapy. I'm going to tell you this. I used to interpret. I used to work in interpreting, okay? And I used to interpret at this place that welcomes refugees when they come here, And many refugees back home and here have issues in their marriages. They have issues in their relationships, just different issues in different aspects of their lives because of the war and the trauma that they've been through because of the war, the violence that they've experienced. It just does not help them rest mentally, So they hired someone to give them advice on how to handle issues on when these memories pop back up and affect their they just taught them how these issues are going to affect their marriages, relationships, work. So I was interpreting. Okay, they're saying it in English, I'm interpreting it in Swahili, right? And I was like, oh my goodness. I started getting triggered, okay, on a lot of the things that they said there. I started getting triggered. I was like, oh my goodness. At some point, as I became emotional, I almost cried through that session, but I was interpreting. So fortunately enough, a few minutes after that, we went on a break, and this woman noticed that I got confused in between, between the sessions. She came up to me, she was like, what's wrong? And she's a therapist. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know what's going on, but somehow what you're saying is making me feel my head hurt and making me feel like I want to go crazy. It's just making me feel like I want to cry and, So she was like, okay, let's talk, and that's how we started, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you like this video. Please. Thank you so much. I hope this information was helpful to anyone out there. I love doing this. I made this video with so much love and confidence, and I'm going to keep making more videos. I just need to be consistent, but thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.